Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger. My friends, here we are again talking about Street Fighter 2. So Street Fighter 2, I'm here to dispel a little bit of a myth held by maybe some of the newer generation of fighting game players, in that Street Fighter 2 was a simple and quaint game. Now, is Street Fighter 2 basically the building block of all modern fighting games? Yes, absolutely, for sure, right? So many concepts like combos, super moves, all that kind of stuff. It all starts here in Street Fighter 2 and its many revisions. But this old man fighting game was a lot more than just fireballs and uppercuts. It's actually one of the most savage and vicious fighting games ever. I recently made a video showcasing one particular character's abilities in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and a lot of people were pretty surprised because by modern standards, the stuff that was shown in that video would not be allowed or accepted. If it was in any given game, people would call for bans, then nerfs. Or call it a bug or whatever, just people couldn't handle it. So with that in mind, here's a few more examples of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo and some absolutely crazy things in the game. So how about the Touch of Death combo from full to dead? A lot of people love that concept. And in a lot of fighting games, you need very specific things. You need a specific position on the screen. On a lot of tag fighters, you need special assists or just something. In Dragon Ball, you need Sparking Blast for a lot of them, right? And there's a lot of setup and requirements needed, basically. And the kids love them. They just go absolutely gaga for them. In Street Fighter, it can be a little bit more simple than some of the more advanced combos of a lot of the tag games out there. How about m.bison and a humble jump and attack? If m.bison hits you with jump roundhouse, you're dead. It's game over. Simple as that. There's no resources, there's no meters, there's no assists, there's no nothing. If he hits you with a jump, you're dead. And he's only an example. He's hardly the only case, right? This specific combo here will always stun the opponent, no matter what. And hey, it does about half your life, rinse and repeat, and that's a dead character. Simple as that. Off a plain old jump-in. DJ, another famous example, all he has to do is hit you with jump medium kick, and he has one of the best jump medium kicks in the game, FYI, and that's game over. There's a little bit of nuance in how you have to enter the inputs for machine gun punch, I guess, but it's really that dirt simple. That's it, that's all. A jump and attack is one of the most basic attacks in all the fighting games, and multiple characters in this game can kill you off a basic jump in. This is normal and expected. How about someone like Chun-Li? So Chun-Li in Street Fighter 2 Turbo, she is a charge character, right? So hold back, then forward and punch, hold down, then up and kick, that kind of stuff. Specifically, her super input is hold back, forward, then kick. It's the kind of super where if you catch him doing a fireball, if you're really quick on the ball, you can smack him, goes through the fireball, hits him. A fairly handy super, surely enough. Thing is, there's something tricky about it. So right there, how'd that happen? I literally was walking forward, and then I went through the move. I need charge to do this, right? Yes, you do. But how the game reads Chun-Li's super specifically is as long as you keep holding that final forward, it'll store the input forever until you finally hit kick. So you can just walk forward and then hit kick and then get your super move. This means whenever Chun-Li has super and is walking forward, you have to wonder, wait, does she have the super ready to go? All she has to do is press one button and she'll automatically get the super. That makes Chun-Li all of a sudden a lot scarier. Once again, as long as she does the motion, once she holds forward, it's forever stored until she hits kick. So when you see Chun-Li marching across the screen, you better be scared because it might happen at any time. So Vega's pretty stupid. It's not really just any one thing, just kind of as a whole package. That's why he sucks in Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5, because people say he's been paying for his crimes ever since. Vega kinda doesn't have weaknesses, really. And it's all upside with great normals, great options, great everything. But specifically, let's talk the wall dive. So the easiest way to explain this is Vega's attacks from wall dive, they are true hard knockdowns. They're impossible to see if they hit left or right. If you get hit by one, you potentially may have lost the game right there on the spot, because he can infinitely loop it together basically after each knockdown right as you wake up. Reversals have some difficulty depending on the characters dealing with it. It's impossible to see which side it's going to hit on. You kind of have to guess. Oh, and by the way, it's super plus on block as well. On top of the left and right, if you just try to block correctly, he also has a command grab from it and then dunks you and then repeat again. So basically guess heads or tails over and over and over. If you guess wrong, it repeats and only takes a couple hits to kill you. And if you guess right, he's super advantage on block and it's his turn and he's in your face. Oh, and as an extra bonus here, his super also is with the wall dive. And it's a super grab where he just dunks you and dunks you and dunks you over and over and over again. And it only uses the meter if it successfully connects. So if you barely miss, if you get like a left or right with the cross up or whatever, nothing comes out. You don't lose the meter. It only gets used if you correctly land the super. Just a fun little bonus for Vega. So in Street Fighter 2, there's the regular throw, right? You just chuck the dude in whatever direction. But there's also what we call hold throws, where it's just multi-hitting and you can mash and all that kind of stuff too. So if you mash a lot of buttons, you get more hits, that kind of stuff. And for a lot of characters, when they're done with the move, it kind of chucks you up in the air. And the thing is, that means they recover before you and they're in your face directly as you land. Some characters can really abuse this. So let's talk Balrog. So lots of characters can do this, but I feel Balrog's one of the poster boys for the whole concept. So he gets to throw, always. There's no teching this kind of throw. You can't stop it. And then he chooses, am I going to be in front of you, or am I going to be behind you as you land? Yes, after he hits you with his inescapable throw, he gets a little bit of a left-right mix-up. Now, the hit he gets from this is almost secondary to everything. Like, yeah, it's a left or right mix-up, so if it hits, right? And he can technically get combos from it as well. But the idea here is hit or block doesn't really matter, is you do it, and then it's back into the throw, back into guess left or right, and then back into the blender over and over and over until, well, you're dead. Once again, you cannot tech the throw, and Balrog's throw range is higher than average. So after the hit, he can throw you, and for a lot of characters, you can't throw him back. The characters that have longer throw range than Balrog, it's a little less of an issue, but most characters don't. It's the stuff like this that really made people hate throws back in the day. I'm sure you heard the term throws are cheap. This is the kind of stuff people were talking about. E Honda and Oicho Nage, that's his command grab. So like T.hawk, if you whiff the move, it does not have a whiff animation, basically. It'll just do whatever normal you hit instead. That's all well and good, but there's a much more sinister secret behind the move. So like T.hawk, he can do negative edge grabs. So here I'm holding light punch, and I'm still holding it the whole time. And okay, I'm not doing anything, I'm just sitting still here, and whoa, what happened there? So I'm holding the light punch, I go to the Ryu here, I enter my motion, but then I just stop, right? And nothing's happening, nothing is happening. So why is it then right here when I let go of the button that the move comes out? Because one, I can use negative edge, so I can hold the button and let go, but the input is stored forever, like Chun-Li, how we talked about that earlier. Once I do the motion for the move, as long as I keep holding down back, it will forever be ready to do the move. All I have to do is press, or in this case, let go of a button, and then it will immediately come out. So effectively, this means if E Honda has you cornered, you're in for a really, really bad time. All I have to do is knock you down once in the corner, and then as you wake up, I'll hit my crouch jab, and then it just loops forever and forever. So here, I just do my jab, I hold the button, enter my motion, hold down back, and then let go of the button. If they're there to be grabbed, they get grabbed. If they're not there to be grabbed for whatever reason, I'm letting go of the button, there's no whiff animation, so I just crouch block. Totally safe. You don't have to check them with a jab on their wake up either, right? It helps, right? But you can also just store the button in the middle of the move, and then do the motion, and as they wake up, do it and let go of the button, and if they are there to get grabbed, you grab them, and if not, then not, and you block. Some characters, if they have their own command grabs or decent throws, they can try to throw reverse you out of this. But then again, a lot of characters don't necessarily have those options working for them. So how the game reads inputs, how the game reads the buffer, really works in E Honda's favor. So in the end, these are just some examples. There's still plenty and plenty and plenty more. Street Fighter 2, even though it's the venerable wise old man on the hill, it's the reason why we're all here, it was a broken, dirty, and savage game. As fighting games get more evolved over the years, we know what works, what doesn't work, all that kind of stuff. We kind of don't allow things like these anymore to happen in fighting games. Dying off a basic jump, weird input errors that become massive, important character tactics, these are the kind of things, if they were to exist in a modern game, they would simply just get patched out. And a lot of people think just because Street Fighter 2 is the granddaddy of them all, it was somehow a much cleaner fight, like two gentlemen in a boxing ring. But no, this game was two hobos outside the arena of the boxing ring, fighting with broken bottles. So I hope you enjoyed this little look at the past, how things used to be, and be a little thankful in a way that fighting games, even though there's a lot of dirty stuff, they're not quite this dirty anymore. But hey, now we're at the end of the video, so thank you very much for watching, hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some fighting games.